Reasons why we get sick. And I'd like to share those 5 reasons with you. I know that you know them already. They're not new to you. But I'd just like to share some details. 5 reasons we have to pray for. In combination to that, I would like to us to turn to Matthew chapter 15. We're going to contemplate on the words of Jesus. The first reason is genetics. Some of us are born to be sick. Some of us are born to be sick. Genetics. You cannot fix that. The hospital, the doctor cannot fix that. It's already ingrained in your DNA to be sick. Number 2, God's allotment. God allowing you to be sick because He has removed His grace so that you can be sick. God did not create the sickness. He removed the grace so that you can be sick. And in His own time, He performs a miracle and makes you whole. And what I just said is exactly what Jesus said. Some people were not born to be that way, but God allowed them to be the way they were so that His glory may be seen in their healing. The third reason why we are sick is because of what we eat and the lack of exercise. Don't let anybody tell you lies. This is the truth. And our medical environment confirms that. The Old Testament confirms that. So no matter how many lies someone will tell you, this is one of the reasons why you're sick. Now, the next reason why you're sick is the environment. You're breathing poison. And sometimes that poison in the food is breathing. These things can cause you to be sick. Or it could be some kind of harmful bacteria that's going around. And you get sick. The 5th reason why you're sick, believe it or not, like it or not, we are all, if Christ don't come soon, we're all going to die. And while we're going on our way to death, we're going to be sick. You may not like it. Too bad. That's the wages of sin. That's a law of God. And you cannot change it. From time to time, my mother called me. She's asking me, what's the cause of this? What's the cause of that? What can I do to change this? I feel so sorry for her. She thinks I can give an answer. I tell her, you're getting old. There's no way you can change that. Now we can slow it down, but you're still going to be hurt. That's the facts. Now, there's something that Jesus did say. He says in Matthew 15, and we're looking at verse 11. He said to the Pharisees, not that which goeth into the mouth defile a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defile a man. So now he has spoken against everything that the medical establishment has said. He has said everything that he can say against what is said in the Old Testament. He contradicts the Old Testament. That's if you misunderstand what he said. You're going to think that he destroyed the medical profession. You can think that he destroyed everything the Old Testament said. That's if you misunderstand it. Let's prove it. Now look at verse 12. Then came his disciples and said unto him, did you know that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this? Well, did you know that the disciples came to Jesus and they asked him a question? They asked him, did you know that the Pharisees were offended when they heard this? So the disciples expected the Pharisees to agree. Which means that he did not say anything against the Old Testament. And the disciples understood to some degree and they agreed. And they agreed. So there is an agreement with what Jesus said. Agree. They were expected to agree. Because what Jesus says was not different from what the Old Testament said. So how come what you put in your mouth will not hurt you? How come if you take an avocado filled with bacteria and swallow it and expect not to be sick? If God doesn't save you, you surely will go in your grave. Because I've had an experience with that. My mom had an experience with that. Now, we didn't eat a whole lot of it. You just ate a little bit. And each time my wife prepared avocados, I tell her to inspect it carefully. Make sure it's fresh and nice. Because I know what it can do. When that germ hides inside that fat, it's difficult for the body to find it and destroy it. So therefore it continues to multiply. So what did Jesus mean when he says not what goes into the man's mouth that makes some defile, but what comes out? Sometimes you hear people say If you eat the hog,
Si vous mangez un cochon,
you're going to become a bad person.
vous ne pouvez pas un mauvais monde.
No. If you eat the hog, you will not become a bad person.
Non, si vous mangez cochon, vous ne pouvez pas un mauvais monde.
You will defile the temple of
Vous
God.
souillez le temple, mon Dieu.
That's what you'll do.
C'est ça, on fait.
It doesn't make you become a bad person.
Il n'est pas fort un mauvais monde.
If you eat a little poison,
Si vous mangez un petit poison,
it will not make you a bad person.
il va faire un mauvais monde.
It's just that it can
C'est
destroy you.
seulement le tout.
If you eat with unwashed hands,
Si vous mangez sans main par laver,
that doesn't make you a bad person.
il va faire un mauvais monde.
But it can hurt you physically.
Mais physiquement, il a fait mal, il a fait mal.
And sometimes it may not do anything to you,
Parfois, il ne peut pas faire rien encore.
depending on the degree of the germ that's in it.
Ça dépend du degré de germe qui est dans la mer.
So Jesus said,
Mais Yeshua dit,
it's not about something physical that you eat that makes you a bad
ce
person,
n'est pas un bagage physique que vous mangez qui fait un mauvais monde.
but the spiritual things like bad words,
Spirituel, bagage spirituel,
that which comes out of you,
qui sorti dans la bouche.
not vomit,
C'est pas vomi,
but bad words.
mauvais mot.
But what comes out of you?
Mais ça qui sorti dans la bouche.
Was it referring to physical food?
Est-ce que c'est une forme de manger physique?
No, he was not referring to vomit.
Il ne
That
peut
physically
pas
come
parler
out
de
of you.
vomissement, non?
Because that physically comes out of you.
Vomissement sort dans le même naturellement.
That is not what he's talking about.
C'est pas ça la parler.
It's not about physical food,
C'est pas manger naturel la parler.
but it's speaking in terms of when you do eat something,
La parler le mangeons
when
bagaille.
you intake something,
Le grand bagaille.
it doesn't defile your soul,
Il va souiller dans vous.
but it only can do something to the physical body.
Mais là, fait un bagaille de dommage à corps physique là.
And that's the word of God.
Ça, c'est parole de Dieu.
God bless you.
Que bon Dieu.